Okay, so hi everybody. Thanks for joining us on our weekly cooking demo this week. What I've decided to do for today is gambas al ajillo, which is a Spanish dish, basically prawns with garlic and chili. Went to the market this morning, got a kilo of prawns. This is not a whole kilo. I didn't have time to peel and shell everything, so I'll save the rest for later. But at Clonjoy Market, it's about $2.70 for a kilo, which is really good for the biggest prawns. So the first thing we're going to do, because I'm going to make another dish sometime, but we'll start with marinating the prawns, because they do have to marinate for about 10 to 15 minutes. They don't need a lot of time. So first thing, because we are working with a Spanish dish, so this is Spanish olive oil, and I get this from a place in Bangkok called El Mercado. They refill your bottles of olive oil, which is fantastic. And so adding in 1 crushed clove of garlic, and you know there's going to be a lot of garlic in this dish, and that's 100% okay. It's meant to be. And then adding in a little bit of, and let me show you what this is. This is smoked hot paprika. So I get this, as you can probably see, from Paleo Robbie. So a little bit of that for the flavor. Let me just like maybe less than a teaspoon, and then a good bit of salt so that it gets into the prawns. There we go. Yeah, and then we'll just let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes. So that's why I wanted to start with that. The other thing I'm going to do is we've got the prawn heads here and the shells. I don't like to waste these, so I'm going to do 2 things. I will need that olive oil after all, but anyways, I will do 2 things. So I'm going to stir fry the heads and the shells in the olive oil that we're going to end up cooking the prawns in, so you get that extra prawn flavor. So let me just quickly rinse my hands. And we'll do that first, and then we'll just, the other thing, so plenty of olive oil. You really want to get that prawn flavor out. And the other thing I like to do to make sure that we don't waste the deliciousness of what's in the heads is after I stir fry in the olive oil and the olive oil gets the prawn flavor, then I'm going to take the shells and then put it into a pot and add some water, and then I'm going to make like basically a prawn stock. So you really get everything out of your prawns. We'll let that go. It's going to take a little while for the oil to come up, and then it's going to start to pop. In the meantime, we'll get started on somtam. So somtam is green papaya salad, which originally, I believe it actually comes from Laos, but it's quite, I think people think of it as a Thai dish these days. And I've been missing somtam. It's something that you can get on the street all the time. I've sort of been avoiding cold street food recently, and also just been cooking a lot at home. But I was having a somtam craving yesterday, and I had ordered a green papaya from Box, which is one of the deliveries that I ordered from. And it was a massive papaya. So I thought, wow, I'm gonna have to make it a couple times. So the way that you shred your papaya here in Bangkok, you can find this implement pretty much anywhere in any market, and it makes it really easy to shred, just like that. Now, if you don't have one of these, then the other way you can shred your papaya is to take your knife and just try and get takes a bit of practice. I'm not perfect at it. I prefer using the implement, but that's the way, the traditional way that the street vendors actually shred papaya. So, I mean, I'm not going to shred the whole thing right now. I've already done some pre-shredding. I've also shredded some carrot here using the same implement. And I'm going to give my prawn head a stir. Really trying to get all of that goodness out of the prawn heads. That's where a lot of the flavor comes from. Okay. All right, so going into the papaya salad, very simple. Starting with 1 garlic clove. Actually, I'll get my fish sauce there. So 1 garlic clove into this clay mortar. This is specifically for making papaya salad. So first, the garlic clove, and today I think I'm going to go with 3 chilies. Why not? Getting the chilies broken up, and then you really get that flavor into the papaya salad. So we're basically making the sauce right now. The next thing that goes in is palm sugar. And this is to taste, right? Like for a lot of people, they might like it quite sweet. I don't add as much, maybe just like less than a tablespoon. But again, it's to taste. So a bit of the palm sugar, and then now I'm adding in fish sauce, as well as juice of 1 lime. And one of my favorite kitchen gadgets from Mexico is this lime squeezer. It just makes life so much easier, except when you drop the lime. There you go. So juice of 1 lime goes in. And what we'll do is we will adjust the seasonings later on. But for now, we've got ourselves a bit of a sauce, usually wanting to taste a little bit where we're at. You know what? I might go with another half lime. My limes are just starting to go, so I'm really trying to use up everything in my kitchen these days. All right. So adding in the papaya, big handful, and then some of the carrot. And grabbing a spoon. All right, so we really want to get that sauce crunched into the papaya, right? So you're basically pounding away. Really to get the sauce soaked into the papaya and the carrot. And it also tenderizes the papaya a bit. It's quite a firm fruit when it's in this state. The other thing we want to do is add in, oh, you know what I forgot? Sorry, guys. I forgot at the beginning. These are some dried shrimp. And this is, it's really up to you whether or not you want to add in the dried shrimp. For some people, it might be too strong of a flavor. For us, we like it, and it adds depth to the dish. It also adds an interesting texture, too. So just got that dried shrimp, too, at the market. And the lady at the market, she insisted that there were a few different choices for dried shrimp. And she said that this was the most array, the most delicious. All right, so adding in some peanuts. Now the peanuts I've used are ones with skin on. The vendors here don't seem to use peanuts with skin on, but it's what we had at home. It's the ones among the roasted peanuts Dave has. It seemed to be, those were the ones that were the most delicious, so that's why I'm using them. And you don't have any peanuts left to snack on, just
2 bags.
Okay. All right. So now a taste. Yeah. I think I'll add just a bit more fish sauce. But this is pretty much good to go now, and it only takes a few minutes, which explains why it's street food, right? That's our papaya salad. We'll set it down to a bowl. Dave got back yesterday from golf, and he had every intention of just having fruit for lunch. And unfortunately, I made papaya salad. He just had to have that instead. But it's just as healthy, if not. There's more protein in this for sure. And there you go. So we have some papaya salad. The other thing that you can add in is some tomato. I didn't do it just now, mostly because I forgot. And there's also the long bean. I'm not the biggest fan of the long bean, so I wouldn't add it in even if we were making it at home. But yeah, okay, so that's papaya salad. Now we're gonna go back to the prawns. So you can see all that goodness has gone into the oil. I'm just gonna try and squeeze out some of that goodness from the heads, again, into the oil, and then try and get these into a pot so that I can get started on making a bit of a stock. And the stock I'll just use for, to add depth to some dishes later on. Stock is always a good thing to have. All right. All right, so now we're gonna go back to our prawns and making the prawns. So we've got some dried chilies here. They're really not that hot, but they do add flavor. These ones happen to be really big, so I'm going to add in to the oil just to infuse the oil. It's a little hot, so I'm going to just take it off the heat for a minute. I've got a number of, I think this is maybe 3 cloves of garlic that I've sliced, adding in. And because we have it here, and I just sort of feel like it, I'm going to add in a bit of fresh Thai chili. This is going to make it quite a bit hotter than it normally would be, but we can handle it. Right. So all of that using in the oil. And then the chilies you can see are sort of getting a bit, the dried ones are getting a bit more cooked. I'm going to add just a glug more of oil. Okay. And then I'll turn up the heat a bit because then we're going to add in our prawns. So just trying to get an even layer so that they get nicely cooked, but not overdone. First had, when I had the trade team here in Bangkok, and I was the head of that section, I had the team over, and this was one of the first dishes I made for them, and it was extremely popular. It helps that the Tom Toy market is so close to our home, and the prawns are so affordable. I mean, kilo.
They still talk about that meal 4 years later.
Aw. Okay, so I've now turned the prawns, you can see, and they're coming together. You could give this a squeeze of lemon if you want. For me, I feel if seafood's really fresh, it probably doesn't need it. The reason why people add lemon to seafood is it's actually a chemical reaction because it turns some of that less fresh, whatever the I don't want to call it a chemical, but molecule into salt. So lemon can take seafood that's really not as fresh and make it seem fresher. All right. So there we have the prawns. And of course I need to give this a taste just to make sure. I hope the chili isn't too hot on Dave's. Dave can be a bit sensitive to chili. Mm-hmm. That's what we were going for. Now we have a little bit of time. So the prawn vendor was actually selling squid. So what I did was I bought some of the squid this morning. And I thought I could do just a little bit of calamari. We've been trying to be good, not having a lot of fried food. But the squid just looked so good. And I figured, geez, might as well have a treat. So what I've done is here, we don't have, I haven't been able to find buttermilk here in Bangkok so much. So what I do is I make buttermilk, and it's basically milk with some sort of acid. So the acid being, in this case, I used lime juice. Just gonna leave it hot. So I had some oil going. I wasn't sure if I was gonna have enough time. So we've got our made up buttermilk. So a bit of, I think this is the juice of 2 limes. Because I have a lot of limes today. And then this is just all-purpose flour with a bit of salt, pepper, and I've added in a bit of that hot smoked paprika. So what we want to do is dredge the calamari in the flour, just like that. Okay, and then I'll just get a plate to shake off. So we haven't been doing, like I said, much frying during this time, trying to be healthy, trying to stay healthy and not eating too much of the COVID-20 or whatever people are calling it. But again, I couldn't really resist when I saw the squid. So I probably won't do all of it. I'll just do a bit. Again, this is lunch, so just as a snack. Again, dredging in the flour. Just shaking it off. And it won't take long to cook. It's like 2 to 3 minutes, not even. All right. I think that'll be enough for us for lunch. The buttermilk is meant to, or the fake buttermilk, made up buttermilk, whatever you want to call it, is meant to help tenderize the squid. So it gives it just that tenderness you're looking for. And we've got the oil, it's hot right now. I'll throw in just 1 piece to take a look how it tastes. I know there was a smaller piece here. So we are able to get frying. The thing about squid, and this is why I don't make calamari very often, is it does pop when it fries. So that's why I have oil in a rather large pot, because it does pop up, and there's been quite a few times where I've had some calamari related injuries. Nose, brown. You want to see this sprinkle of salt. First test piece is a little brown, but that's okay. And then I'll just do the rest really quickly. longer because the oil was just a little bit cooler from the first batch, which is fine. All right, let's just turn off that oil. And there you have it. So then you've got some fried calamari. It's crispy, but really tender and moist in there because of that flash fry. Because of the buttermilk, you get almost like a little.
Question: what kind of oil?
I was using a mix of what I had, so canola oil and rice bran oil. As long as it's a neutral oil and that has a higher smoke point. So olive oil, for instance, not so good for frying. Rice bran oil, excellent. Canola oil is also quite good. And so we've got our calamari here. We've got our somtam. We've got our gambas al ajillo. And the other thing I wanted to show you guys is that I got out my sticky rice steamer. Because sticky rice goes really well with somtam. I got this up north when we went to visit our friends during this festival that they had for a temple, and hadn't really had a chance to use it. So the thing about sticky rice, you have to soak it overnight, and then it's quite simple. Then you stick it in a steamer. Hopefully you maybe don't have this apparatus, but if you stick it in a steamer with some cheesecloth, that'll work. And then steam for 10 to 15 minutes, take a look. You might have to flip it, which is, in this case, these steamers, they were designed so that when you're flipping, you're able to, well, it's sticky now, but usually when it's still hot, you would flip, and it would flip over so that it's easy to flip and steam the other side. So the plan is to either have it with the sticky rice, the somtam, or the other thing you can do is, and if you have a grill, it's even better, is you make the sticky rice into patties, and then beat up an egg with a bit of salt, or if you want some fish sauce, and then baste the patties with the egg and then cook. If you do this over charcoal, it's especially delicious. It's almost like having sticky fried rice. But my plan is to try and do it on the stove and see how that turns out. Wow, okay, so we're 25 minutes in, which means that I've cooked everything and it's about lunchtime. So unless people have questions, the only thing I'll say is if you do have a question, just unmute yourself one at a time. We don't want to unmute everybody at the same time because last time it caused some issues and some interference. Any questions? Otherwise, I'm just going to sit here and eat a calamari. Okay, we're good. Well, thanks for joining, everybody. I wish I could see you. Dave is able to see you, so and then I'll think of some dishes for next week.
That looks pretty amazing. That contraption in front of you, Yvonne, that's worth a photo.
It's pretty cool,
This
right?
thing. Yeah, you should. I'm not even joking. You should take a picture of that with you behind it and send it to me. I can put it in the newsletter. It's beautiful.
Okay.
I've never seen it. I've never seen anything like it. It's so amazing. What is it called?
And it makes making sticky rice easy.
Take it apart.
Wow. Dear God, makes you want to eat sticky rice. Holy mackerel.
So you've got the pot, you've got the bamboo, and then you've got the lid.
Amazing.
I thought it was a spittoon.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Is it a steamer? Is it a steamer? Basically, it's a steamer, right? So any kind of basket.
Yeah, there's water inside. So if you wanted to do the sticky rice in a bamboo steamer, just line it with some cheesecloth and then put the sticky rice, the soaked overnight sticky rice, and it'll steam in 15 to 20 minutes.
Right. Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Next week. See you next week.
We love you, Yvonne and Dave. We love you guys.
No, we hate you.
Yeah, actually.
Who has their own sticky rice steamer? Come on.
I do, Caroline. It's right next door at the restaurant next to my house. I buy it takeout.
Exactly. It's like, who has one of those? Come on.
I'm going to get one, though, because it looks pretty impressive, I'll tell you.
I know.
It's very
I'm a lot of
drama.
show, as you know. I'm a lot of show, not a lot of substance. I'm getting one of those and just parking it on in my kitchen. I'm just gonna keep it there for people to come in and see it and say, "What is that? Holy mackerel!"
Where do you keep all of these stuff? I mean, no wonder you need a big apartment. Oh God.
Thank you.
Come on,
Thank you guys.
and has a sticky rice steamer.